Hey, good morning. It's George from Joint Effort Exercise. We are here for class number 8 of our Introduction to Balance and Strength Training. So just like every other class, you're going to need a bottle of water if you have one, a chair or a sturdy surface that you can hang on to for some of the more challenging balance exercises, and then just 2 forms of resistance. So it could be a dumbbell, as we have here, or it can be, cans or bottles or whatever. So the same thing as we've been doing for the whole time. But we're going to start in the same way and do everything in the same sequence. So I'm going to do a warm up, and then we'll introduce some of the movements, and then just go on as we happen. So without further ado, let's get started with our modified jumping jacks. So you're just going to go side to side, to the center, and then out. So out to the right and out to the left. Just going to do a couple-minute warm-up today. Get the joints and the muscles and the cardiovascular system ready to roll. Do about 5 more seconds of these. So again, this just warms up the muscles in the hips and the shoulders, and rest there, okay? Now let's get our feet about shoulder width apart. And as always, I have my trusty chair here if needed. And we're just going to do those butt kicks. So this is going to warm up the muscles in the back of the legs, those hamstrings that we will be using later on in the class. So just nice and easy, shift our weight side to side. And the workout today, we have some exercises that we've done in the past. 5 seconds left. So there'll be some review to see how you've progressed. 2 and 1. Very good. And the last one that we'll do is our high knees. So you can hang on for this one. And we're just going to do those high knees. So just standing, marching. Keep those core muscles nice and tight as you do this. And let's keep going. So again, more strengthening up and improving the muscular endurance of your hip flexors, those muscles that are in the front of your leg that bring your knee up, which is very important. All right, and the last one I want to do is a hip extension. So you're going to face your chair, and I just want you to alternate and kick your legs back, just like that. Okay, so you're going to warm up the glutes a little bit. All important. So now we've done pretty much every plane of motion of the hip to get going. All right, very good. Okay, so nice, easy warm up. So the first couple exercises that we're going to do is, actually, they're both exercises that we've done in the past. The first one's going to be, you don't have to do it yet, is going to be that feet together. So feet are going to be literally touching. You're going to face your sturdy surface, and I just want you to shift your weight back and forth, okay? So get kind of close to it. Shift your weight back and forth, just like so. And our second movement is going to be that squat to calf raise. So feet are going to be a little wider than shoulder width apart for this one. You're going to go down and then up, just like that, okay? All right, so let's get our feet together. We'll start that first movement. So feet together, and we're just going to go as far forward as we can, and then as far back as we can. So again, stay relatively close to the surface that you're using for stability. Try not to use it as best as you possibly can. So I had to use it a couple of times there as I'm going forward, but do your absolute best to not use it if you can, okay? So just shifting that weight forward and then rolling back onto your heels, just like so, okay? Not easy stuff. I know it sounds and looks relatively simple, but it truly isn't. All right, so that was that first one. Now our second one, our feet are going to be about shoulder width apart, going to squat down and then go up onto our tiptoes. Okay, so you can go right into that one, just like so. So down and up. So I'm shifting my weight back, a little bit of a squat, and right up onto my toes, okay? So for this one, you want to face your, you can also face your sturdy surface as well. So just down and up, just like that. Okay. So that was the first two movements. Now we're going to repeat, just as we have been for every class. So let's face our sturdy chair again. Feet are together, and we're shifting our weight forward and back, okay? Just like so, forward and back. And you can go up onto your heels, and your toes can come up if they need to, but try to keep it so they don't. You're really controlling, how far you go with the muscles in the front of your legs, your tibialis anterior, as well as your calves, okay? So that was 30 seconds there. And now we're just going to go back to our squat to calf raise. So try to do this without holding on like I was doing the last time. So your feet are about shoulder width apart. You're squatting down and then going up onto your toes. Squat down, go up onto your toes. Try to pause just a little bit at the top. So as you squat, do a little bit of a pause when you get up onto your tiptoes, as that is going to just challenge you a little bit more in using your ankles, using your calves to keep you balanced. Just keep your core muscles nice and tight as you do it. And we have one more. And done. Very good. Okay, so that was the first group of exercises. So grab some water. I'm going to increase the volume on our timer so I don't miss any dings. All right, so the next two exercises are, the first one is, so grab some water. We have about 45 seconds until we start. So we're going to go into our semi-tandem stance. So one foot sort of in front of the other, and you're gonna have your hand hovering over the top of your surface. And I just want you to turn your head side to side as much as you can. That's actually a really good mobility exercise for your neck as well in the transverse plane. And the second one is going to be similar to the warm-up that we did before. So we're going to try not to hang on. We're going to do high knees, but we're going to pause just for a second. So try as best as you can not to hang on for that. All right, so that first one, let's put the left foot in front of the other, hand hovering over the top of our chair, and core muscles nice and tight. And all I want you to do is turn your head as far as you can left and as far as you can right. Okay, keep your eyes open the whole time. Closing your eyes is a whole nother challenge with this. So for this one, we're just going to keep our eyes open. And that was 30 seconds. Okay, and now our second exercise is that high knee. So try to have your hand hovering over the top of your surface. Stand about, your feet about shoulder width apart. And I just want you to lift the one knee up, hold it for a moment, like maybe 2 seconds, and then go back down, okay? So just like so, and do your absolute best to do this without hanging on. If you have to have your hand touching in any capacity, just have maybe one finger on there. And but if you can, just do your absolute best to do it without hanging on to anything. Okay. All right. So that was exercise number 2. Now, since I did my left foot last time in front, I'm just going to do my right foot in front this time. So in that semi-tandem stance, you're just going to have your hand hovering over your sturdy surface and shifting your head side to side. So over to the left as far as you can, over to the right as far as you can, just like so. Okay, looking good. We have about 5 seconds left. And rest. Very good. Okay. All right. So we're going to go back to our high knee. So the same thing. So feet about shoulder width apart. Hand hovering over the top. And left knee up. Pause for 2 seconds. Right knee up. Pause for 2 seconds. I'm just going to continue in this way for the next 20 seconds. So just pausing slightly, make sure we're not white knuckling on whatever surface you're using. Just a light hover, preferably, but just lightly tapping it if you need to. All right, that was our second 30 seconds. So we are getting some water now. While you get some water, just pay attention to what I'm showing. We have about 45 seconds till we'll start. So the first one, okay. So it's tandem stance with twist and reach, okay? So what that one is, you're going to have your feet 1 foot in front of the other, knees bent just a little bit, and you're going to twist and reach, okay? So we're just going to do one side to start off with. So my left foot's in front, I'm going to twist to my right and then come back, okay? That's going to be the first exercise. We'll switch when we're done. And then next one we're going to do the side step to the high knee, okay? So side step, high knee. We've done this one in the past. We did this one in the last class, actually. So as I said earlier, there's some review here, okay? So let's get that left foot in front. You have 1 foot totally in front of the other. Your hand could be hovering over the top of your surface. We're just twisting and reaching over to the right. So just like so. Keep your core muscles nice and tight. Same thing, make sure you're not really gripping that chair or whatever you're using for your sturdy surface. So this is a little bit different than what we did before because your feet are one in front of the other, and we're twisting our shoulders and everything rather than just twisting our head, okay? So it has a little bit of core movement in there as well. All right, so the next one is going to be that side step to the high knee. So feet together, step out to the right, high knee, and then you can go back down. Step to the left, high knee, and down, okay? Just like that. And if you can step here and then down to the other side. So if you can do that, that's a little bit more challenging that you have to go back over without resetting. But if you can do that, that is ideal. So now we have our momentum shifting. So different than the high knee that we did before. Now we have momentum shifting into the high knee. So we have that lateral, that challenge from a lateral perspective. Okay, so back to that first move. So 1 foot in front of the other. So my heel is touching my toe and I'm just reaching to my left now. So my right foot's in front. I'm twisting and I'm reaching with my right hand out to my left. Just like that. Keep those core muscles nice and tight the whole time while you're doing it. As we said, this is a balance and strength class. So building that momentum. So starting and stopping the movement in this position is going to help with a little bit of core stability as well as the balance. Okay, so let's go back to that side step with a high knee. And again, you can do it like this and then go back down. But if you can do it and hold it up and then go to the other side, hold it up, that is just a little bit more challenging. Not better, just a little bit more challenging. Okay, so high knee and down. I'm going to go with the original way. Okay, step, high knee, down, step, high knee, down, just like so. 10 more seconds. Not easy stuff. 2 and 1. Hand rest. All right, we are more than halfway done. So grab some water. We're going to go through the next couple of exercises. First one is going to be the first exercise that we do with your eyes closed. So that's going to be an eye opener, no pun intended. It's a lot more challenging. And then we're going to do a split stance with a row. So you're going to need a weight for the second exercise. And it's going to be, so the first one, literally just going to have our feet together like so. And I just want you to close your eyes. So this one, hold on for the first bit. And once you feel stable, you can let go, obviously. I want you to hold on for a little while. And then after maybe a few seconds, you can let go, but just bring your hand off of the surface lightly. Or just a little bit, I should say. Second one, we did that chainsaw row. So 1 foot in front of the other, and you're going to pull just like you're starting a chainsaw from the ground. All right, so that first exercise, feet are going to be together, and all I want you to do is close your eyes. So you have your hand touching that surface that you're on, that you're using for stability, and you're just standing there with your eyes closed, okay? So just keep your hand touching, that surface, so you know where it is at all times. We have that's it. I wasn't watching, clearly. All right, so that was the first one. The second exercise, we're going to take your resistance, and you're going to, in your right hand, put your left hand out in front, left foot out in front of you. And all I want you to do is pull back. So you're going to drop that arm down and pull back, just like you're starting a lawnmower or starting a chainsaw. So just like so, okay? Okay, nice, slow, controlled movement. Don't have to do too many of these. I want you to just focus on control going up and then control going down. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. So remember, just did my right arm. I'm going to do my left the next time. And now we're going to do, I want you to do a semi-tandem stance this time. So your feet slightly in front of the other, hand holding on to the surface. Close those eyes and see if it's any different than the first time when we had our feet touching. It should be a little bit more challenging. It is a little bit more challenging for me, but I have my fingers just barely touching my chair, so I know, that it's there. So I suggest that you do the same. But now I'm feeling my body go front and back a little bit more than it was before, where I just felt it going kind of side to side. So using those muscles in the front and back of your legs to work. All right, and back to our chainsaw row. This time my weight is in my left hand. My right foot's in front, hanging that weight down with my left and pulling back just like so. Inhaling down, exhaling up, just like that. And just keep going. We have about 5 more seconds. Squeezing those shoulder blades and rest. Very good. Okay. Second to last sequence. So grab some water and we're moving on to our last 2 exercises. All right. Forward mini lunge. Okay. So the first exercise that we're going to do is I want to do a standing hip extension. So we did it in the warm-up, but I want to do it without hanging on this time. So going backwards is really challenging for a lot of our clients when we step back and do the clock taps and things like that. So I want to get used to using the glutes and moving in a, moving backwards. So I want you to do this without hanging on. I want to have a slight bend in the knees, and I want you to just kick your legs back. So we're just going to do one leg at a time. You're standing on the left leg and kicking the right leg back. So that will be the first exercise that we do. And then the second exercise is a mini lunge with a reach above your head. Okay, we're going to do that alternating just like that. Okay, so let's go to that first exercise. So you're going to have your hands hovering over the top. And I just want you to kick your your right leg back. So I have a slight bend in my left leg. I'm not touching the surface I'm using for stability. I'm not touching it. I have my hands hovering over the top of it. And my left leg's starting to get a little bit tired because it's bent a little. So that's where the strength comes in. Okay, so that was 30 seconds of that. Now what I'll do is I'll do the left leg next time. Now this alternating mini lunge, what that looks like is you're going to step forward and hands go over your head. Step forward with the right, step forward with the left, just like that, okay? So do it facing your surface. I should have done it that way initially. So step forward with your right, hands above the head, step back. Step forward with the left, push back with your heel, just like so. Doesn't have to be too fast. The pace that I'm going at is probably about right for everybody. If you can do it faster, by all means, go ahead. but that's a good pace. All right, and now we're going to do the hip extension, standing hip extension. This time I'm keeping my left leg still and slightly bent, and my right leg, and I'm going back with my left leg. So hands hovering over the top. Okay, so a little bit of a bend in that right leg, and I'm going out just like so. Perfect. My right leg's starting to get a little bit tired, which is what I want. 3, 2, and 1. Very good. All right, shake that out. Last exercise, that front lunge. So I'm just going to step forward, starting with the right leg, and then just alternate and put those hands above your head, just like that. Nice, slow, controlled movement, both forward and back. Looking good. About 5 seconds. All right. Excellent. All right, so that is the strength and balance class number 8. I'm just going to turn my timer off here. And I hope you enjoyed it, as I hope you enjoy all of the classes. What we'll go into now is our stretching, which we've done every single class. Very important to stretch after the workouts, folks. It's especially when you're isolating specific muscle groups. We did a lot of exercises for our legs today in all planes of motion. Excuse me. So you want to make sure that you're stretching out those muscles that we did work, because and it really you over, that you work in the garden, you're cleaning the house, you do anything that's repetitive, you want to make sure that you stretch after, just to prevent soreness, and then also potential strains from overly tight muscles. Okay. So let's start with our hamstring stretch. So let's get that right foot out in front, slightly bent right leg, lean forward. So you should feel a good stretch in your hamstring on the right side. And we're just going to hold that for about 15 seconds. Okay, and let's keep that right leg straight now. You're going to point your toe towards your chest, lean forward slightly, and you should feel a stretch in your calf on that right side this time. Okay, very good. Let's switch to the other side now. Going to get that left leg out in front, slightly bent, and just lean forward. So you should feel a good stretch in your left leg now. Okay, come on back. Keep that left leg straight. Put your toes pointed towards your chest. Lean forward slowly and slightly. Feel a good stretch in your calf on the left side now. Okay. All right, let's cross that left leg over the right. Taking my left hand, putting it right underneath my left knee, leaning forward slowly and slightly. Should feel a nice stretch in your left hip now. Okay, switch to the other side, same exact thing. And so right leg's going over my left. My right is always tighter than my left. So if you have one that's tighter than the other, you're in good company. It's every time I've ever stretched with a client, they always say the same thing. So if that's the case for you, not to fret. But I do recommend that you stretch every day. This is, as I said, it's such a critical component of physical fitness. And what I feel is the most overlooked component of physical fitness is the flexibility piece. It does prevent, so many unnecessary injuries. It, helps range of motion, helps reaction time, helps reactionability, if that's even a word. But it really, helps to prevent falls. There are so many things that having good flexibility can help with. So it's such an easy thing to do. It doesn't cost you anything. I truly recommend that you do it at least once a day, if not more. All right. So left leg back behind me now, pretty much straight. Right leg bent. I'm just shifting my weight forward. So feeling a good stretch in my left leg. All right, and just switching to the other side. Last stretch. Right leg's back behind me now. Left leg is in front and slightly bent. And just shifting my weight forward. So you should feel a nice stretch in the top of your right leg. Okay. That is all. I hope you enjoyed Introduction to Balance and Strength, class number 8. If you have any questions, as usual, or feedback, please feel free to email me at george@jointeffortexercise.com. I'd be happy to answer any questions or take your feedback into consideration. If you think I should be doing more of something, less of something, love to hear from you in any capacity. So hope you enjoyed the class, and we'll talk to you soon. See ya.